banks change, so you're going to have to change too if you want to keep getting money from them. Hi, my name is Matt Coach. I created this YouTube channel to share the tips, tricks, and mistakes on my way to building an 8-figure real estate portfolio. And just because a bank was doing something doesn't mean that they're going to continue doing that thing. Banks tighten up and loosen all of the time, right? They're constantly doing their own internal analysis on how often they're defaulting based on their debts. And if it's too much, they're going to tend to tighten up. If it's not enough, they'll probably loosen up. So as much as, you might internally think that banks are trying to make, they're always trying to maximize their profit, right? So they have a certain risk tolerance or whatever that they go through. They take into account, macroeconomic principles, things like that, along with, so like the likelihood that people just in general are going to default will get higher based on different macroeconomic things. But also just their internally, how are they doing business? How are they, what was their last quarter like can change how they give out money, right? Whether they become more aggressive in lending or they pull back in lending. So knowing that, know that a bank can switch up their policies on what they're willing to give lending to. And if you go in with like, hey, this bank 6 months ago was doing this, very well could be something that isn't working anymore with that bank. So when a bank is loose and they're giving out a lot of money, make sure to take advantage of that. Get in front of that bank, get your credit card, your line of credit, or whatever thing. But when they're tightening up, be aware of that. Be aware that the thing that just worked for you 6 months ago may not work, or that worked for somebody else may not work for you. And just kind of keep moving forward. You got to be able to take the punches when this is going on, because they can just change up their stuff, change up their rules, change up what they allow, people to do. Like, for instance, Chase just changed up how easy it is to talk to a relationship manager, who's the ones who get you the really high credit cards. They bumped it up to where if you don't have 100,000 in the account, it's very difficult to get a relationship manager in front of you. So that is that will tremendously change your likelihood of getting a $50K credit card, because doing an online app, you're just not going to get that. So anyways, understand that, banking information is always relative. It's always fluctuating. So if you have information from a year ago, it just may be outdated. And, some of the stuff will probably still work, but some might not. So they're always changing. So you got to be able to adapt, and you got to be able to find the banks that are giving the money, and you got to be able to, discern the ones that are tightening up. So see y'all later. Hopefully that's helpful.